Hello, everyone. It is I, Joe Ash, also known as Jabaspie. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Blood Bowl. For some of you, you may be viewing this and you know what Blood Bowl is. For others, you may have no idea. For those of you that don't, all I can say is you guys are in for a treat. I was very fortunate to be able to become a part of the UK Blood Bowl League this season. And from what I've seen, it's a very long-standing league that covers both the tabletop version of this game and the PC version of this game online. And I'm joining them in their 27th season, and it's an honor. I look forward to participating, and I look forward to getting schooled because, frankly, I think I'm still a bit of a scrub when it comes to this game, but we will see. We will see. I'm going to leave links down in the comments below for the information on the UK Blood Bowl League. Just if you wanted to kind of get an idea as far as who was involved and kind of what's going on. And there's, let's see, there's 144 coaches that are starting out, and we were split into different divisions, and I am in Division H. So what we're going to do today is we are going to create our team, and we're going to register for the league. So I'm going to be explaining this for those of you that don't know. For those of you that do know, just kind of, and there's probably a lot of you that will know much more about this than I do. So these are just my opinions. I do not tout these as expert as expert advice. However, these are the different teams that you can play within Blood Bowl. Blood Bowl is kind of a hybrid between rugby, European football, and American football, I would say. There are elements of all of those. It's definitely a very bashy sport, and that's why a lot of people love it, because there's you can injure players, you can kill the opposing players, that kind of thing, and you basically make your team. You're the coach. You play the game, and then for certain actions that your different players perform, they may get what are called star player points. And if they get enough of those star player points to level up, they then have a chance to gain a skill or maybe get better in one of their stats, that sort of thing. So that's a very quick rundown of it. You can either be humans, you can be orcs, you can be dwarves, you can be skaven, which are basically giant rat men. You can be high elves, hoity-toity. You can be dark elves, gothic elves. Bretonnian, which is, I don't know. It's an interesting team. There are definitely things I like about it. It's definitely one, though, that I think requires a little more skill to be able to play. More skill than I have, anyway. You can be chaos, which are basically giant chaos warriors, and beastmen, which are goat men, and then you got the minotaur. You've got lizard men, enough said, lizards. You've got the Norse. They're bashy, but they're like glass cannons. They're bashy, but they can also get hit pretty hard. You've got the undead with mummies. Necromantic with the wolfmen and the flesh golems, aka Frankenstein's monster. So those are the teams that are currently in the game. There is one more team, the Wood Elves. I currently don't have them as of yet. They're the one team that I do not have yet. So of the teams that I do have, I've taken a look at Division H, and so far, really it's boiling down to a few necromantic, several undead teams, and I think there's a chaos team in there, and also a few dark elves and one high elf. So here's kind of what we're looking at. If we take a look at high elves really, they're as with most elves, they're high agility. So their ability to dodge out of tackle zones. With the high elf team, you have some more focus on the passing game, which is not as easy as it sounds. Everything you do in Blood Bowl essentially requires some sort of chance or dice roll. So if you're passing the ball, there's a chance that you could fail. And the better a passer you are, the more skills you have in passing, the easier it is to pass. But then you've also got the person catching the ball who has to be able to pass dice rolls. So that's another major thing, are dice rolls. There's a lot of randomness involved in Blood Bowl, but for the more skilled people, it really comes down to reducing the amount of times that you allow that randomness to take place. So with Dark Elves, again, very high agility, much more of a focus on running the ball and doing dump offs, things like that, dumping off, and we'll get to that for people who don't know what it is. You will find out all these terms as we progress. Chaos, they are bashy. They are there to put you down, literally. And let's see. Then the undead. Ugh, I hate mummies. I hate them, as Sinvicta would say. I hate them. I hate mummies. But I say that with the greatest deal of respect. These are tough. And then you basically got your ghouls as your runners. Yeah. And then zombies. And skeletons if you want them. Although I don't know a lot of people that take more than one skeleton. And then you got necromantic team. The flesh golems are very bothersome. Not as bad as mummies, but still very bothersome. And then it's the wolfmen are the real stars of their teams. We also have one orc team, I should say. And of all the teams that we are going to choose from, the one that I feel the most comfortable with, the one that I would like to play, is actually orcs. You've got other teams that can do things, but for this division, I think this is going to be my best chance to make it out. The reason that we're going with orcs, we will see very quickly. All right, what's our team name? I wonder if this is taken. Let's see. Team motto is huh? Dirty boys don't know what a team motto is. They do not understand. Let's see, for our team logo. Oh, so many wonderful choices. So many wonderful choices. I think that's let's see here. We're going to go with that one. And this is the, is that the one I want? Let's see. Pea Panther, Greenskin Stripes, Destroyers. I think this is the one we're going to go with. All right. Now, is this name taken? Dirty Boys. It is. Go it. All right. What about this one? Hey, we got it. All right. The stadium's going to be where? Your assistants can hire your players and staff for you. You will thereby obtain a team that is ready to play if you prefer. No, we are going to get the team ourselves. Okay. So we're going to do a brief overview of the stats. For those of you that know all of this, hopefully I won't bore you too much or say incorrect things. If I do, you feel free to leave me a comment down below, please. So linemen. These are the basic units of each team. And you've got 4 stats to look at. You have movement allowance, strength, agility, and armor value. Movement allowance is basically how many tiles you can move in one turn. Strength is basically how good you are at blocking or being blocked. Agility is how good you are at dodging out of block zones or being able to throw or catch the ball or pick the ball up off the pitch. Yes, that requires a dice roll in and of itself. And then you've got armor value. And this basically lets people know how tough it is to knock your player out or injure him, or even. But anyway, so your linemen are the very basic of the players. They've got fairly good stats for linemen. Movement allowance at 5 is okay. Strength and agility at both 3 is good. Armor value at 9 is good. That's a good armor value. And then when you level up, you can pick from these different skill trees here. They don't start with any skills, but considering their stat line, that's okay. And then they can pick from general skills whenever they want to. So the other thing you need to keep in mind is their cost. Up here, this is how much money we currently have. We have 1 million gold coins, gold pieces, 1 million gold pieces. And each of these players costs different money. So with linemen, they're 50,000, and that's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's not quite the cheapest of linemen, but it's on the less expensive end. So, and these are kind of the most expendable of your players here. And so we're going to do that. Now, goblins have their place in certain teams. I don't feel comfortable playing with them. I think they're they're only 40,000. They've got stunty with dodge, which means they're extremely difficult to take down. However, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable with them. That's not the team that I want to build. All right. So, what team do we want to build? We're not going to go with the troll. Trolls are awfully expensive, and they could be very unreliable. The reason I say that is because you have one loner. If you don't get the roll you want and you want to try and re-roll it, you first have to roll a 4+ on a 6-sided dice, which is not easy. The other thing is that they're really stupid. If you declare an action, you roll a d6, adding 2 if there are any adjacent teammates. On a result of 1 to 3, they stand around trying to remember what it is they're meant to be doing, and the action is wasted. The player loses his tackle zone and may not catch, intercept, pass, assist, or voluntarily move. So, if you've got someone with him, he has a little bit of a better chance. But on any other roll, you've got a 50-50 opportunity to just kind of stand there and be duh, which, enough of our guys are going to be doing. These are some of my favorite players for the orcs. The Black Orc. He has a movement allowance of 4, which is on the lower end of the spectrum. He has a strength of 4, which is on the higher end. This is good. Agility 2, so obviously this is not someone that you're really going to be picking the ball up with or throwing or catching with. Armor value of 9, which is good. He has access to both general and strength skills. This is your bruiser. This is the person that you either initially set the cage up with, or someone who's there to really kind of just knock people around, get them out of position, get them off the pitch, that sort of things. And we are going to start out with Idjit. That's going to be his name. There we go. Welcome to the team, Idjit. And you can get up to 4 black orcs. As I should mention, you can have up to 11 players on the pitch at any time. So having 4 strength is pretty good. It's a pretty good way to go about it. So we're gonna get another black orc. His name is gonna be Dummy. Get another black orc. His name is going to be Duh. And yes, that question mark is a part of his name. So when you say his name, it's not duh, it's duh. And the last Black Orc we are getting. He will be a moron. He's going to be a morons. Actually, his name's going to be Da Moron. Da Moron. Welcome to Moron to the team. Okay, and now for the next players that we're going to be picking up. These are going to be our Blitzers. So in this game, blitzing is once per turn, one of your players is allowed to run and then throw a block, trying to hit another player. Otherwise, you can only hit a player that's right next to you. You can't move and then hit another player. So blitzers are, in most cases, they're purpose built to be the ones to do that. And you can kind of see why that is for a couple of reasons here. One is that they've got movement allowance 6, so they're a little bit faster. They're the fastest players on the Orc team. Their strength of 3 and agility of 3 makes them pretty good utility-wise. They're average in both, so if you need them to pick up the ball, they're certainly a better choice than the Black Orcs. If they're the ones that are throwing the block, you know, they have an average strength. Their armor value of 9 makes them durable, which is good, and they have the skill block. And we'll talk about this later when it comes to dice and skill and things like that. But trust me when I say having block to begin is a good thing. And you can get 4 of them. So let's see. How about Stupid? Welcome to the team, Stupid. All right, we're going to get another Blitzer. His name is going to be... Let's see. What is his name going to be? His name is going to be... No. Welcome to the team, No. All right. Get our third Blitzer in here. Our third Blitzer will be... Empty Head. Empty Head. Welcome to the team, Empty Head. And our fourth Blitzer. Our fourth Blitzer shall be named... Let's see. Numbskills. Numbskills, welcome to the team, sir. All right, so we have 8 players. We have 3 positions opened with which to have on the pitch. We're going to go with 2 linemen in this configuration. And let's see. Mr. Lineman, what is your name going to be? What is your name going to be? We're going to have our 2 linemen be why. They're going to be who and why. Who and why. And then, for the last one, since we're not doing a troll, and we're not doing a goblin, we could get a 3rd lineman if we wanted to, but we want someone who we can kind of maybe rely on as a ball carrier. And for that, we're going to go with the thrower. So the thrower is kind of an interesting... he's an interesting piece on the Orc team. usually your ball carrier is going to be one of your faster players. But in this case, he's meh speed-wise. He only has a movement allowance of 5. Strength and agility of both 3 is okay. It's okay. It means that you've got an average chance of picking up the ball. An armor value of 8 is average for most people, for most players. Lowest armor value on the team, meaning of anyone that's going to get hurt, it's more likely to be him, just because it's easier to break that armor and possibly cause an injury. And the other interesting thing is that he's got sure hands, which is good. It means if you roll the dice and you fail to pick up the ball, you will automatically re-roll it to see if you can pick it up again. Not only that, but if someone else has strip ball as a skill, this negates it. So starting out with that makes him an excellent ball carrier, but he's also got pass, which allows you to re-roll passing skill checks. So what you can end up with is a scenario where, if need be, you've got someone who can pass out of an area to, say, a blitzer or even possibly a lineman, since they both have agility 3. It's not your number one choice. It might not even be your second or third choice. But in a scrape, you can do that. And he has access to passing skills, some of which are good to have. But he also has access to general skills. He doesn't have any agility skills, which makes it a little bit more difficult for him as a ball carrier, just because there's some skills in here you'd really like him to be able to have, if you can. Now, you may be looking at this and saying, well, wait a minute. You've got all 4 of these here. You've got the 2 that don't have the dice here, and then you've got the 2 that do have the dice. What this means is, on a regular level up, without any special dice rolls or anything else, this character can get into the general or the passing skill tree. Now, when you level up, you do roll dice. You roll 2 6-sided dice. If you get a doubles of any kind, so double 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, all the way on up to 6s, you can choose from any of the skill trees. So you would have access to agility or strength in those cases if you were to roll doubles, which is excellent. Excuse me. Now, the other thing is, if you roll a 10 of any kind, you can choose to either have increased armor value, so you can move your armor value up by 1, or increased movement speed, have your movement allowance up by 1. If you get an 11, you can increase your agility by 1. If you get a 12, you can increase your strength by 1. And if you roll double 6s, which is a 12, you can either do strength increase by 1, or you can choose from any of the skills in any of the trees. So you depending on how you roll your level ups, you can put together some pretty skilled, some pretty nasty looking teams, based on how you build around it. So let's see. The name of our thrower. Excuse me. The name of our thrower is going to be let's see. I'm trying to come up with something clever in my head. He's going to be Dope. Yep. His name is Dope. Welcome to the team, Dope. Okay. So we have the 11 players we need in order to field them on the pitch, which is good. One of the other nice things about this particular lineup is that your most expensive players are your Black Orcs and your Blitzers, which are 80,000 apiece. Certainly not the least expensive, but considering that your linemen are 50,000, your throwers at 70,000, you still end up with 190,000 left over once you've bought the 11 players. And this can be very important. And the reason for that is that when you're putting a team together, it's not just about what players you have on the pitch, but also some of these key staff members, apothecaries, rerolls, cheerleaders, fan factor, coach assistants. So first thing we're going to do is get 3 rerolls. Now this does mean we're going to be rolling without an apothecary, which can be dangerous. Main reason being, if one of your players gets injured, there's a chance that they may lose a stat point. There's a chance that they may miss a game. Or there's a chance that, they'll kick the bucket and never return. And if you have an apothecary, you have a chance to re-roll the injury, which could lead to either them going from being dead to just being injured, or for them to going to a no casualty and they'll be back on the pitch at the next drive. So if you roll without one of these to begin with, it can be risky. I feel a little more comfortable doing it with this team, though, just because 10 of the players have an armor of 9, and my thrower has an armor of 8. So to begin with, I'm okay with this. I understand. Look, death is a part of Blood Bowl. You just got to learn to live with it. It's going to happen. The rerolls, though, can be more significant. If at any time you're rolling a skill, whether it be a block, picking up the ball, throwing the ball, catching the ball, trying to get some extra movement out of your players, and you don't like the results, each half I will have 3 rerolls, or 3 chances to re-roll the dice. You can only do it once per turn, but each half you'll have 3. And this is where I really feel comfortable at. So the question now comes... See, the cheerleader and the coach assistant help you to have a greater likelihood of getting different events on kickoff. Fan factor is there to really enhance the effect that different events have on the kickoff table. Again, a lot of this may not make sense to some people who are watching this. It's okay. Don't worry about it. You're going to pick up on this real quick. So we're going to spend our last 10,000 to get 1 fan factor. All right. And there is our team. There we go. So we have 4 Black Orcs. We have 4 Blitzers, 2 Linemen, and the thrower. Our other linemen's hiding back here behind the Black Orcs. I feel good about this. We're going to see where this goes from here. So, now that we got the team put together, let's get them registered. And we're going to go to Join League, Multiplayer, UKBBL. No. Here we go. Right? This is the right one, right? Maybe not. Is it... excuse me. Is it the latter? No. See, I should have known how to do this. Here we go. And we are in Group H. Register. Perfect. There we go. Whoops. No. Nope. Not that team. Not that team. This is the team. Good grief. Already making mistakes, Joe Ash. Good job. Okay. Hey, we did it right this time. There we go. Okay, perfect. All right, guys. Well, I think that's going to be it for this video. Just kind of a quick one to introduce Blood Bowl to you guys. I mean, obviously we haven't played any games yet, but I'm going to be recording those and looking forward to sharing them with you. If you would like more of this content, please feel free to go down and hit the like with a comment. If you just wanted to support me or let me know you like the video, please feel free to do so. If you guys are a fan of Blood Bowl, hit a like as well. And if you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe. But just thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye. Huh?